Guys, you are here with my channel, that is Economics at a Glance. So guys, we have already started the market concepts, different types of markets, but as few students requested to put some cost concepts, what are different cost concepts and cost curves. So here is my try to let you know that what are different types of cost, because these are to be used in different curves of market structure. Okay, so let's get started, guys. First is, what is cost? See, cost is used for analyzing the cost of any project, any operation, both in long run and short run. See, whether in long run or short run, whatever you are expending to have any project or any operation, whatever you are expending, that is called cost. Okay, basically it is your expenditure. There are different types of cost. See, nominal, real, opportunity, economic, social, joint, and historical cost. Well, what are they? We will cover individually. See, first is nominal and real cost. Nominal cost is the money cost of production. That means it is also called expenses of production. That means if you are doing any production, whatever expenses you are doing, that is your cost. Okay, that means it is from the point of view of a producer. But what is real cost? See, real cost is calculated by deflating the nominal cost by the base price. See what happens. Suppose you have any food packet. Okay, what is its price in 2001 and what is the price in 2020? If you deflate the price of 2020 with the base price, that is 2011 or 2001, whatever you have decided, that is called real cost. See, it is the difference between the nominal and real thing. See, nominal means current monetary value, what you are paying now. Real means it takes into account the effects of inflation. Just I have told you 2011 what is the value, and after inflation what is the value changed in 2020. Okay, so it takes into account those effects. Secondly, nominal presents the current headline monetary figure, and real it provides the actual purchasing power and opportunity cost of the workers as well. See an example, if you can say, if nominal wages is 8%, it is not plus, nominal wages is 8%, where we have found inflation is 6.5%. Okay, so 6.5% is including in the 8%, which is the nominal value. So how we can have the real value? 8 minus 6.5, that is 1.5. Okay, next is, if nominal interest rate is 3%, among which 2% is inflation, that means the real interest rate is 1%. Getting the concept how to calculate nominal and real? Okay. Next one is opportunity cost, which is a very important question for any competitive exam, your JRF exam, SRF exam. What happens? See, it is the value of the return sacrificed or foregone from the next best alternative. See, this word is most important. Next best alternative activity. Okay, that means suppose you have 4 options and you have chosen one. So what will be the cost if you chosen this third and fourth option minus the cost you are paying for option you have chosen now. Okay. See, opportunity cost is return on the best option that you have not chosen minus return on the option you have chosen. Okay, that difference is called opportunity cost. That means you could have but you are not having now. Okay, so this next is sunk cost. What is this sunk cost? See what happens. Costs that have been incurred by the past actions, you have already done it, that cannot be recovered. Let's say $400 spent last year to replace a water pump. You have already done the expenditure. Now you cannot have that. Okay, so that is called sunk cost. It is a type of fixed cost. Okay, see, so this is the major difference between opportunity and sunk cost. We can see the example. See, if you were not attending college, you could earn $20,000 per year. Your opportunity cost attending college for 1 year is 20,000, because see, if you have not attended the college, go for any job, you could have $20,000 per year. But as you are joining the college and you left that job, so your opportunity cost becomes $20,000. But in case of sunk cost, what happens? You bought an automobile that cost $12,000 2 years ago. This $12,000 cost is sunk cost, because whether you drive it, park it, trade it or sell it, you cannot change the $12,000 cost. Okay, so that is sunk cost, you have already done it. Next is economic cost. See, it is very important. It is of two types, explicit cost and implicit cost. Explicit cost is generally called as paid out cost or cash cost, what you have paid. Okay. Implicit cost means self-owned cost. That means suppose you have a farm and you are engaging your family as a laborer, but you are not paying your family member. So that cost is your implicit cost, self-owned cost. So what is the major difference? See, explicit cost when the company pays for the usage of its factors of production like rent, wages, interest and profit. But in case of implicit cost, what happens? When the company uses the resources belonging to the owner. Okay, that means just like I have told, the family laborer. It is also called as out-of-pocket cost and it is imputed and opportunity cost. Explicit cost can be easily determined because you just calculate how much I have paid out. But implicit cost, it is very difficult to track because so many things are imputed here. Like you cannot have track of all the cell phone things which you have used. Then nextly, explicit cost assist in calculating. See, one thing remember, through explicit cost you can calculate both accounting profit and economic profit. But the use of implicit cost is used only for calculation of economic profit only. You can get the formula for getting the economic and accounting profit. You can easily get from that. Okay. So next is social cost. Social cost, the total cost to the society, it is otherwise called externalities. You will go through the what this externalities, what it is. See, there are two types of externality. Basically, you are doing something for which you have to pay something. That is your called social cost. See, positive externality and negative externality. How it is? Basically, positive externality is that it occurs when the consumption or production of a good causes a benefit to the third party, which is not involving that particular action directly. We can get an example. See, a farmer who grows sunflower plants, okay, a farmer is having a sunflower field, provides a benefit to a beekeeper. Okay, suppose okay, let's just read it. The beekeeper gets a good source of nectar to help make more honey. This is called positive production externality. Suppose you are having a sunflower field, okay, and near your sunflower field, one beekeeper set his boxes, okay. You don't have any role in that bee box, but your sunflower nectar is helping to grow that bees in the bee box. Okay, so indirectly you are helping a third party who is not involving in your work. That cost is called positive externality. What in case of negative externality? It is a cost that is suffered by a third party. In positive cases, third party got benefited. Now third party gets suffered. Okay, how? See, let's say air pollution from factories. Okay, let's say one factory is causing much air pollution and that pollution affected the society nearby it. So for that, the factory has to pay a particular cost for that solution of that air pollution, and that cost is called negative externality. That means that cost the factory has to pay to the society. Like that, all the examples here I have mentioned. Next is joint and separable costs. See, it is very easy. Like one process have several different processes. Okay, if it is splitted off, each process cost is called separable cost, and when all the separable cost will join with each other, the total cost is called joint cost. Okay. Next is historical and replacement cost. What is the major difference? See, the cost of the plant's material and equipments at the price originally paid for them at the time the asset was acquired. Okay, whereas in replacement cost, the price that would have to be paid currently for acquiring the same plant. What happens here? See, let's say in 2002, in year 2002, you have purchased a land. Okay, at that time it is 50 lakh, it was 50 lakh rupees. But what that 50 lakh rupees you have purchased the land, that was the historical cost. Okay, but if I will say that same land you will purchase now in 2020, will it be to 50 lakh rupees? It will be obviously more, let's say 1 crore rupees. Now in 2020 it is 1 crore. So the extra 50 lakh rupees, that is called replacement cost. Okay. Okay. Next are some cost terms. Cost terms, you should know that say total fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, average total cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost, and marginal cost. These are actually to be used in the market concept in graphs. Okay, so see very carefully. First is, what is fixed cost? See, fixed cost denotes the cost which do not vary with the level of production. It is independent of output. That means whether you are doing production, you are not doing any production, you are increasing or decreasing your production, this cost has no role in your production activities. Whether you are doing any production or not, you have to expend for this, like depreciation, interest rate, rent, taxes. Like suppose you have purchased a tractor, okay, whether you are using it or not using it, but it will depreciate year on year. Yes or no? So this is fixed cost. Total fixed cost is all the cost associated with the fixed input, and average fixed cost is total fixed cost per unit of output. That is total fixed cost divided by total output, that is your average fixed cost. Okay, very carefully see the terms. Then variable cost. See, variable cost is the rest of total cost, the part that varies as you produce more or less. See, as I have told you, you produce more or less, fixed cost has no role. But when you start producing anything, the cost associated to the production of different inputs and outputs, that is called variable cost and depends upon the output. Example is increase of output with labor. If you will you will increase the labor, you will increase the cost because you have to pay more wages. So associated to variable cost, first is total variable cost. See, all the costs associated with the variable inputs like seeds and fertilizer, that is called total variable cost. Similarly, like average fixed cost, average variable cost is total variable cost divided by output. Okay. Next is your total cost. See, total cost, when it will arise, just remember it is the combination of total fixed cost and total variable cost. Similarly, in case of average total cost, what you can do? Average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Otherwise, if you have the value of total cost, you can do what? Total cost divided by output. Clear? Okay. So next is marginal cost. This is the very important thing. See, the additional cost incurred from producing an additional unit of output. What extra charges you are incurred for producing with extra unit of production. That is called marginal cost. How we can calculate marginal cost? Change in total cost divided by change in output. That means when you are increasing one unit of product, you are increasing the output, and with that increase or decrease in output, how much change happened in the total cost. That is called marginal cost. Well, total cost is equals to total fixed cost and total variable cost. So if you will calculate change in it, total fixed cost will not change. So change in total fixed cost will be 0. So we can write it as change in total variable cost divided by change in total output. Now we will see how this cost curves we can explain through graphically. What will be the exact curve of this cost concepts which we have just studied. Okay. So guys, we have discussed the concept wise different cost things. Okay. Total cost, total fixed cost, total variable cost, average cost, fine. Okay, now we will see how we can define those costs which we have just learned in the form of graphical. Okay, graphically how we can tell that this is total cost, total fixed cost, total variable cost. Let's start then. Okay, see, first I will tell you the total fixed cost. What we have just studied, whether we do any production or not, this cost is fixed. This cost you have to bear. Okay, so in this case the curve will be a horizontal line, just like we have studied in perfect competitive market demand curve. That is same thing, per horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Here this is total fixed cost. Okay, why it is horizontal line parallel to x-axis? See, suppose you are a rice farmer. Okay, whether you produce rice or not, whether you produce pearls or whether you produce whatever, but that land cost is fixed, which you have purchased. Yes or no? So that is fixed. That is why it is a horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Fine. Total fixed cost. Next is total variable cost. Total variable cost. See, variable cost, I have told you, this cost will be occur only when you are doing something. You are starting some business. Okay. So this, as you have worked something and this cost is associated with the operation, it will start from the origin. Okay. And the shape is inverted S shape. It is inverted S shape. Okay. Remember, this is a short question. Total variable cost shape is dash, that is inverted S shape. So you have known what is total fixed cost graphically, total variable cost graphically. Now we will see how we can show the total cost graphically. Okay, total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Yes or no? So that means, just a minute. That means if we will join this two graph, we can get the graph of total cost. Yes or no? Total fixed cost is straight line, total variable cost is inverted S shape. Now we have to join that. So how will be the graph of total cost? See, this is total cost. Why I have done like this? See, in total cost, whether you are doing any production or not, this intercept will be there, because total fixed cost you have to incur. After that, you are adding total variable cost. So this total is your total cost. What is the difference between this inverted S shape and this inverted S shape? There should be any difference. The difference is, in case of total variable cost, this shape has started from origin. But in case of total cost, it has been started taking some intercept. It is not started from origin. It has started after some intercept, and this intercept is called total fixed cost. This amount. Okay? Clear? Clear regarding total fixed cost, total variable cost and total cost. Next we will see the average cost concept. Okay? Let me rub all this. Just a minute. See. What happens here? Now we will see the average form. Total fixed cost, total variable cost, total cost we have here seen. Now we will see how we can derive graphically average cost. Okay. First we will see average variable cost. Okay. Average variable cost. Well, tell me, average variable cost formula, what it is? Total variable cost divided by quantity. Yes or no? Total variable cost by quantity. So average variable cost, how the shape will be? See, it will be a U-shaped curve. Okay, it will be a U-shaped curve. That means, see, here the shape is, just a minute. Here the shape of ABC average variable cost is U-shape. That means this is the minimum point. Okay, so when you go on increasing your quantity production or selling in market or any production firm, it shows that the cost will go on decreasing up to the point where your average product is maximum. Well, what is average product? Total product by quantity. Yes or no? So like in average, you can say that when your average product is maximum, average cost is minimum. Okay, this is a short question you can expect in any competitive exam. Okay, so in graphically, remember, when the average cost or average variable cost is minimum, your average product is maximum. Or else we can say, when we go on increasing the production of quantity, initially the average variable cost declines up to a certain point, and after that it starts increasing. Clear? So this is average variable cost. Fine? Clear? Next we will switch to average fixed cost. Average fixed cost. What happens to average fixed cost? How we can derive average fixed cost? Average fixed cost is equals to total fixed cost by Y, that is quantity. Yes or no? So what is the graph here? See, graph is here. So average fixed cost, it is constantly declining. Okay. Why it is constantly declining? Because total fixed cost is a horizontal line. When we go on adding more and more production, so the cost will decline continuously. But it will never touch the x-axis. Remember, it will continuously decline but never touch this x-axis. Okay. So this shape is called, the shape I have drawn here for average fixed cost is hyperbola. Okay, this is a short question also. The shape of average fixed cost is hyperbola. Okay, so now the turn is average total cost. Average total cost. See, just like we have done total fixed cost plus total variable cost, we have got the total cost. Here also, when we will mix this two graph, we will get the shape of average total cost. That will be, see, average total cost. That means average total cost will also be U-shaped. Okay. Remember, then the last one, that is marginal cost, which we are actually concerned about. That is marginal cost. What is marginal cost? The extra cost we use to expend for the extra unit of production. Extra 1 unit of production. Clear? Okay. What is the marginal cost curve shape? It is also a U-shaped curve. But there is a thing you need to remember. It is also U-shaped. When marginal cost curve you are drawing, you have to remember it will intersect all these curves at their respective minimum points. Remember? Okay, let me just mention this. Just a minute. See, note down this one. Marginal cost should intersect all other curves, all other cost curves at their respective minimum points. Okay. When you are drawing all the cost curves, average total cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost and marginal cost, remember that marginal cost when intersecting all other cost curves, it should go through the minimum point of respective cost curves. How? See how it will be. First we need to do all the cost curves. Just a minute. It is a graph. Okay. This is x-axis. We have taken quantity and cost in y-axis. Now we will draw all the cost curves. Okay. First is average fixed cost. This is average fixed cost. Fine. This is average variable cost, and this is average total cost. Fine. Okay. These are the cost curves. Now we will draw the marginal cost and see very carefully how marginal cost curve will go. See, marginal cost curve is a U-shaped curve. Okay. So it is, just a minute. Just a change I have to do. Just a minute. Okay. So your average variable cost, this should be. Okay. And this is your average fixed cost. So when we will draw the marginal cost, it will go through the minimum point of all the cost curves. Minimum point of AVC, minimum point of AVC, minimum point of ATC. Okay, remember? So marginal cost is a curve which will go on intersecting all the respective minimum points of other cost curves and it is a U-shaped curve. So this is all about the cost curves, cost concept which you have requested to put in this, because in the perfect competitive market we are using, and in other market also we will use all this cost curve and cost concepts. So this is all about cost concepts. If you have any doubt, you can put in the comment box like what is your doubt. It can be solved. Okay, till then stay with my channel and don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.